Welcome back to Attingham Park. We've just sent the John Deere off to deliver another load of manure to the BGA. So we've done one already just to check the auto drive course. It's kind of working. So that is the plan there. Now the first thing I need to do, and I didn't do this at the end of the last episode, completely forgot, was we need to deduct the £2,500 for the contracting. Completely slipped my mind. So that's done. So we're all paid up, debts are settled. Now, we have got rain in the forecast. Not sure what time it's going to appear. It says 4 o'clock, so we may well get some slurry spreading done on our grass fields before then. So we'll head down probably to the, is it 28? We'll get that done first, and then yeah, we'll see how we do for time. But we're all unfolded and we are dropping slurry onto the field. Now I was going to put the manure on, but then I remembered what I'd said to Disturbed in the past about, I think it was on his Maypole series, and how I think it's Tom Pemberton that will put manure on after last cut and let that rot down and break down over the winter months, and then yeah, it's all into the soil and whatnot, and it's not going to get back into the food chain when they chop the grass. So yeah, we need to follow our own advice, and I do believe that he does do slurrying between cuts. I think obviously because that's liquid, it goes down into the soil as I'm gesturing with my hand down into the soil. So yeah, that's the logic for doing it this way. We do have a fair amount of slurry, but let's just lift that up a second, reverse back, and we'll have a look exactly how much we have. 98,000 litres. So the other thing as well is we should have, yeah, we've got plenty of digestate as well. So if we run out of slurry, we can always use that. You'll see we are nearly full on the manure, so that's good. That's going to process away and give us the electric charge, which we will put to storing. We will store the methane as well. There we go. That's going to run away in the background and make us electric, methane and digestate. So that's all good. Let's just check on the cows. So they're all fine, and it won't be long before we can sell our next load of beef cattle. Sheep, they are all good as well. So we can now just crack on with the slurry spreading. So the rain has started, and yeah, I think we can probably go for a bit longer. I'm just waiting to see what the John Deere is going to do, because like I said earlier, I was having issues with it actually filling. No, it's not going to do it. So we'll just hop in and hit the R key, and hopefully it'll wait long enough to take a full load, because at least then it can sit and be tipping into the BGA whilst the manure is processed. Okay, is that all we're going to get? Fine. We'll pull up the auto drive menu, find our cursor and just click it on to the next delivery point, or target I guess you'd call it. That's fine. Off you go. We can get refilled with slurry and head back to the field. Try and get a bit more done before the rain really makes the ground sodden, I think. So back in the field again after refilling, and the rain is still coming down. And actually here, as he looks out the window, it's started snowing, so that gives you an idea of what day it is. It is Wednesday today, and yeah, so yeah, not normally about to record on a Wednesday, but taking the opportunity when I can. Probably shouldn't have gone into this corner really like that, but there we go. But yeah, bit of a flurry going on, nothing too major at the minute. Always interesting when it snows in the UK because everything just descends into chaos. It's just the roads go... Not so much the roads, it's the people on the roads, I find. But yeah, hopefully it won't be too painful. And, it doesn't stick around too long. Yeah, it's pretty chilly. Nice bit of wintry weather in March. It always tends to snow in March in the UK. Nice, weird, sort of Feb, March time. Very, very bizarre. But yeah, it is blowing a flurry outside, so yeah. Right, we are going to crack on. We'll hopefully finish the... I'm guessing we might not actually. The rate is going down. But we'll go as far as we can. We'll refill, and then we may need to skip into May. So last bit of the field. I'm not sure if we're going to make it. Possibly going to. Come on. Oh, you're kidding. Oh dear, never mind. We'll yeah, we'll go and fill up. We'll head back down here and just get that tiny little bit. But yeah, probably if I hadn't overlapped so much, we'd have made it. But never mind. Right, we'll get back, fill up, and I'll see you in the next field. Into field 31, and we used about 3% of the tanker for that little patch in 28. So yeah, not a million miles off, but still couldn't leave it to be unfertilised. So it's all done now. We have got all the lights on, and it's still pretty glum. So I think we'll empty this tanker load. We will head back to the yard, get filled up, and then we'll probably skip into May, I think, just because it doesn't make for very pleasant viewing, I don't find. So the other thing we could do as well then is we'll hopefully have processed some of the manure, so we'll have space to empty the rest of the trailer into the BGA. The other thing I've just done is move the strawberries out the spawn point, because that was full, so we could also have a look at whether it's worth selling those or whether we should just stockpile them. But yeah, we've got plenty to be doing. There is plenty of grass contracts, be it hay, silage, whatever. So that could be an opportunity if we were short of things to do, but at the minute we're doing alright for cash. The milk is mounting up, and yeah, we're in a good position overall. Do want to have a look as well, actually, what crops we've got, and if it's worth selling anything yet, or whether we hold on to them and then do a big selling session later on in the year. But we are not far off being empty, so we'll start the second headland, and then I'll see you back at the yard. So with the legal tanker all filled up again with slurry, we are going to take the opportunity to top up cows' feed. We've got nearly 7,000 litres. How much are they going to take? Yeah, they'll take all of that. Brilliant. Because then we can make a fresh mix whilst we skip through some time into May. So we'll get this emptied out. The straw is fine. And then I reckon possibly in May the beef cattle will be ready to sell, so that can be a job to do as well. So we'll pull out of here. We'll get the gate shut. There we go. We're going to be close, I think, on that one. Just in time. Right, I'll get a mix done, and I'll see you in May. Well, it's just after 6:30 in the morning on the first day of May. Now, as suspected, the beef cattle are at their maximum price, £3,500. But we have run into a bit of a problem. So, oh, good. Rain stopped. We've got plenty of hay. We've got potatoes. We've got the straw. We've got grass silage. We've run out of maize silage. Now, this was rather poor planning. So what we're going to have to do... Now, I did look at doing a standard mix, but that's whole crop silage. Now, I could have changed it, but yeah, so bit of a boo-boo on my part. So what we're going to have to do is purchase some maize silage. So we're going to crack on, get that done. We also need to get some diesel because the tank is empty. So we're going to be spending some cash. But then again, at the same time, we can get the cattle sold. So we'll organise a delivery of both diesel and some maize silage bales. And I'll be back with you shortly. Well, with the diesel delivered and the maize silage bales delivered, we've gone for 24 and we went for 5,000 litres of diesel at about the cost of 6,000 something pounds. So a slightly more expensive day than I had hoped for. Let's get this boomed out a bit, dropped down. We can probably just back up and that'll drop in. There we go. We will grab a hay bale and then probably 2 of the maize silage bales, I think. Just because... Oh, sorry for that very jerky movement then. That should then just allow us to top up with some potatoes and we'll have a full mixer. So we'll get these done. And then we should be able to crack on and finish field 31 first, and then we'll get the cattle sold. And then we'll go from there. So we'll get the hay lowered in. Go. And then let's grab ourselves some maize silage. Went for the green wrap just so we could, well, distinguish between these and our grass silage. So grab those 2 and I'll see you when we're putting the potatoes in. Bud's going in. Now it should take... Come on. What? Oh, it's full. I didn't realise it was it got so much in it, but that's all good. That's fine. We can lower that down, as I reckon we're probably going to need to do another mix relatively soon. So while we just... There we go. Manure has processed. Nearly full with electric charge, so that is going to pay us quite handsomely. So we can just turn that off for now. Hop into the fen, get the cows fed, and then go and do some slurry spreading. Well, I've decided to do another mix straight away, so we can get the cows fully fed, and these 10, the Angus, or the 5 Angus and the 5 Limousin can have their last meal, and yeah, there's plenty for them to be going at. Dairy cow on top of us. Right, so let's pull out of here. Now, I did notice as well, we've got about 25,000 litres of milk. Yep. So price on milk at the moment is not bad. Yeah, reasonable to be fair. Where is the best place? The hotel. Maybe we'll have a trek up there if we have time. So we'll pull this forward a bit and turn the engine off. Close the gate. Go. And we can probably get some more manure sent to the BJ, I think, before we start slurry spreading. So I'll get that loaded up, stick that back on auto drive, and I'll see you back in field 31. So because we have skipped into the next month, the fertiliser, or the slurry, should I say, is disappeared into the ground, and I have got no idea where we've actually been. So I've had to put GPS on and sort of guess, which is less than ideal, but we should get this done relatively quickly. So we're going to do, if we do 2 passes down here, and then we'll go and do 1 down there, and that tiny little bit there, this end, we should have it covered. So I have got GPS on, just because it makes it so much easier. So we'll turn that on, we'll lower down, and we'll stick cruise control on, because we can keep tabbing back and forth then to see if we're covering, and we are, which is good. So I've had a bit of a plan for build 32. We are going to use courseplay on that one and auto drive to refill the tanker. So I'm going to push on, get this done, and then we'll see if we can get things set up to run autonomously. So we've generated a course, and we're going to just hit enter now. What I need to do quickly is just click courseplay. So we should empty in a second. There we go. Now that should fold up. And wait for that to... Yeah, so it said the tank's empty. That's okay. Now what it should do is... There you go. It will drive now to 32, field 32 weight. Then it will head off to the slurry fill up, come back, and should pick up from the last waypoint. So we'll just plod along, go right along with this, and see how we get on, I think. So luckily, I just moved a stack of 4 bales out of the way, because I think they would have not necessarily been knocked over, but I think it would have picked up a collision and stopped. So hopefully now it will turn and pull forward, then reverse back in. Oh, this is going rather well so far. Come on, a bit more. There you go. Now it should fill up. Cracking. Then it'll head back to the field, fingers crossed, and pick up where it left off. So we've navigated through the BGA area and are crawling, it has to be said, up to the waypoint. But I'm hopeful with this. I really am hopeful. So the step that or the process that I've used is get your auto drive set first. Where is my cursor? It has gone. Where is it? He says, can't see it. Anyway, there we go. So yeah, get your target point, get your fill up point for your slurry. Obviously slurry should select itself, and then generate your course. Set the course going, and then you just click the course play button. You don't have to turn auto drive on or off. It'll do that automatically. So you can see now we're back onto course play by the look of it, because the worker has changed. That's the interesting thing, that the worker changes between when it swaps from course play to auto drive. But I guess that's doesn't matter at all. So it's going to now navigate its way back to the last point. Hopefully not going to have an issue with that tree there. There we go, and it's lowered down, and we are putting slurry onto the grass field. Wicked. So now we can just leave that to run, and we can go and sell some cattle. So with the first 5 Angus cattle loaded up, I was just on the way to the animal market, and look at the state of the weeds in this field. Really need to get in there and spray some herbicide, and I'm assuming it's going to be just as bad in 30. So that's a job for another day. Get the herbicide sprayed on, because they're probably too big for a weeder. Although we could have a look. The mechanical option might be better. But for now, we're going to get these 5 sold, and then we'll go back for the limousine. Are we going to get across? We are indeed. So, while we get these sold, I just want to talk about what's happening with series and Let's Play. So, ATTINGHAM, obviously, is still running. Duh. And so is the Oaks. Now, Colonia ended, and there was a plan to just jump straight into another sort of time-lapse series, but then an idea was suggested to me, which I really liked the sound of. Now, you're on Discord, you might have an idea of what this is. But yeah, there's other people involved. Not saying who, because things are not confirmed yet, but it's in the works. There are a lot of moving parts to it. But yeah, so something is coming, and it should be really, really good fun to do. Won't be a massively long series, maybe probably about 5-ish episodes. But yeah, so it's to say I haven't stopped. Well, I have stopped the time-lapse series, but something else is going to replace it. So yeah, sort of give you all a bit of an update on that. So we did get a message to pop up saying that the tank was empty and the worker had stopped. So hopefully we should see, when we're on the way back to the yard, or in the yard, the McCormick appear with the slurry tanker on the back, if it isn't already there. And yeah, hopefully things are still progressing as well as they were when we left them to it. Well, as if by magic, there is the McCormick. Thought it was back at the yard. I don't know if anybody else has had this and whether it happens on other maps, but when you drive past the repair point and into the trigger, you hear a little, like a tink. So yeah, just wondered if thought it was back, but yeah, clearly that's refilling. So we can let that crack on. We can pick up the last 5 cars to sell, and we can go and make even more money. So we've got a full trailer this time. We've got 5 limousine that are at their max price, and we've got 3 of the 6-month-olds. 6-month-olds. Reason for that is just trying to get the beef side down a bit. It is a nice steady income, but I think milk is definitely the future for us. Now, the other thing I've checked is on the fields and the weed situation, because obviously with, or without precision farming, should I say, if we spray herbicide, I think automatically we take 20% yield drop. So what I'm thinking is we can, I forget which number, I think 30 we can weed, and the other one, which I can't remember the name of, we need to lease a hoe. So we made 17.5, so we're up to 70 grand. So it's probably, what were they, 900 and something pounds. So roughly about 19 grand, 20,000. So worthwhile doing beef. But like I say, milk production is, whoa, that was close, is ramping up. So yeah, that's going to be our main steady source of income. So what we're going to do now is drop the trailer off, and we will go and check in on the McCormick. So what number is this? Field 45. So field 45 needs to be hoed, and field 30 needs to be, or can be, weeded using a weeder. So that's a job for next time, I reckon. So I'll get this dropped off back at the yard. We will make sure the remaining cows are all happy, and yeah, we'll hop into the McCormick and see how that's doing. So just jumped into the McCormick, which is about empty again. There we go. Is it going to finish that run? No, that is mildly frustrating, but never mind. So again, now it's going to clear off, fill up, come back, rinse and repeat. All that good stuff. Now, the milk's gone down. I have loaded up the tanker. And watch where this goes. Could be funny. Oh no, it's doing as it should. Wicked. And we are going to go to Mrs. Holland's village shop because it's very close and the price price difference isn't that great. I mean, for £7 a litre, not really worth stressing about. But do you want to get it done? Because I've got this obsession this episode with getting the money back up. But also, I'm liking the fact that it's quite... we've got a bit of a cycle now. We're getting the beef fattened up, aged, sold off. We've got the milk producing. So, you know, looking at the McCormick tractor that needs a repair, we can afford to do that because we know the money is coming in. So, all that pain and struggling we did early on is starting to pay off. We've also got all that electric charge that we could set to selling, but I think we'll keep that as a bit of a buffer and sort of a rainy day slush fund, I think. So we'll let that do its thing and we're going to go and sell some milk. So as we approach Mrs. Holland's village shop, see the McCormick in the background, and it really does bring the map and the old play style alive, I think. So, right, let's see if we can get this to sell in the right place first time. Who knows who will be. Oh, yeah, sorry about your grass, Miss Holland. There we go. So let's watch the money shoot up and see how much we make. That field over there is looking particularly withered. Not been looked after. Shocking. So 9,000 litres to go. Over, it's going to be about 90 grand, I reckon. 92, 93 grand. What we end up with, not what we make off one tanker of milk. That'd be pretty good. But we're going to have 92,405, 22,022 pounds for the milk. Jobs are good un. Now, yeah, we'll just we'll put some grass seed down if we churn it up too much. What I might do is grab the remainder of the milk out of the tank and get that sold as well, and then we will probably look at seeing how far off build 32 is from being fully fertilised. We have to move over here. Ooh, that's close. And then yeah, we'll check in on the McCormick again and possibly wrap things up. So another £10,796 in sold milk, so we can now go back to the yard. I was looking at the price of strawberries and they're mid-range at the minute, so I think we're going to keep hold of them a little bit longer, to at least till they start to increase a bit more. And we're doing alright for cash, which is rather good. So I'll drop this off and I'll see you back in the McCormick. So we are now in control of the tanker and the McCormick, just because the only little tiny bit it's missed is up in this corner here, and I think that is pretty good. So where is that part? Can't actually see it, so I think it's the old lower down and drive forwards. See, has that got it? Yes, it has. Super. Get that all folded up, and we will head back to the yard because there's one more field left to do, but won't put you through that. But I've quite enjoyed that. I like the fact that we've done a bit ourselves, and then we've used auto drive and course play to automate the rest, and it worked pretty well, I do have to say. Yeah, very cool feature that. So I think we're going to leave it there. thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.